Like your fancy turntable? Welcome back to the channel. Keith, ProNoobRC, working on our SCX10ii build with the 2021 New Bright Ford Bronco body sitting on top. We just finished throwing down some red paint on it. We did a black undercoat with the metallic red to kind of give it a more of a little bit darker metallic red. Our LED lighting in here is super bright, as you can tell. So it's kind of throwing the color off a little bit than what it's going to be when you see it outside. So it's a little bit more cherry than the red right now, but when we get it outside, it darkens up. So it's kind of a oddball color. So we got those in, you remember last video, and we masked those off with vinyl, as we showed you. That was probably the easiest way we could find. And then now I've just got a small piece of 400 grit sandpaper folded in half into a little chunk like that. And I'm just going to work on the edge, flat, there like this, not with it on an edge like that so I'm carving grooves, but nice and flat, so we can just knock the edge down of the red paint and then do any last little bit of cleaning before on this surface before we want to go in and paint him. Now it's now time to mask off everything in the red so we can do these rear fenders, the roof, the hood, front fenders, front grille, and portals in dark gunmetal. So yeah, we're gonna knock this down. There is the detail in here, very tiny lines in there, hard to see. I don't know, camera, you can get that? Yeah, camera. But these little tiny lines inside there, I've already done this side and went in and re-carved them with a knife. You gonna get that? But yeah, you got to watch that when you're taking this down, you don't deform it at all and remove any of the detail, because that's kind of what you don't want to do. The inside edge of this is flat and it is meant to be colored the same color as the body. So again, once that's done, you can mask that off and paint it after. We're not going that far in this truck. We'll leave that for somebody else with more skills than us. So. We're good, but we're not that good, okay? I still gotta call all my friends for RC help every day. That's a good thing about RC. It's a community, right? It's like a big family. You need help, you call somebody up, they give you info. I messaged the Todd from Tan Woodworks on what his best way to mask this off. He gave me a great idea to use a little strip of 1/8 vinyl to run that all the way around and then mask back from there. My idea was just to tape it right off and try to cut it from the inside, but you all know that's going to look like crap, right? So, so yeah, it's a community, right? If you need help, go ask somebody. That's what it's about. That's why we do it. So you want to make sure that, yeah, you're kind of working in a way that you're kind of like pulling back and then pushing in, and then kind of like a little circular motion, kind of like that. You don't want to be going reverse where you're pulling down towards the red from the inside, because you can, if you do have a funky edge in there, it will chip. So just kind of work your way up in there. Don't actually lift it off, but put the pressure down on the in-stroke if you can. Little tips I've learned so you're not repainting the whole body. Truth be told, I'm not terribly happy with the color of the paint. I thought it would be a little bit darker than that. We could have put on less, but then we put on less, we were running into areas where it was kind of still, like you can still see the black through it, which is good. Like we did kind of achieve what we wanted, but out of the two reds we picked, I should have maybe looked at some more colors, but. So that just means we have to work extra hard to make it look real good when it's done. Okay, so I'm going to do that all the way around. You guys don't want to see that. That's boring as crap. And then we're going to come back when it's time to start masking everything off on this. You do want to do your masking, kind of get it done in one day. I've had situations where I've left the masking tape on the vehicle for an extended period of time, and when I've came back and taken it off, like a day, like overnight, I mean, like, or 10 hours, and I've come back and taken it off, and it's left glue residue kind of marks all over the body. You want to avoid that because really the only way to get those off is to wet sand it. With a metallic paint job, you can't wet sand that. Okay, so we got the mask work done on the body. To get around the portals is a little bit easier than I was planning. I used the Tamiya, I think it's like 40mm mask tape. It's super thin, so you can put it on there. And I just kind of went around the hole with the X-Acto number 11 blade, X-Life blade, really sharp one. Went around the hole, and then I just kind of went back and shaved the tape until I could see the nice paint line all the way around. And then for around the wheel wells, I cut a bunch of strips on my Cricut vinyl cutter into varying sizes. And I just used these ones to get a nice tight line around the wheel well, and then just masked out from there. I could have did just tape and mask, but I wanted to try that out. We've got the grill, little nubbins up here, the fenders, and the rest of the roof ready to go gray. So before I move on to actually hitting the paint on here, I forgot one step is the roof never got fully sprayed, just so we could save more paint for the sides, so the fenders, and they could tell the difference, got painted. So I got some 600 grit out, and I'm just sanding down the overspray on the top to get that smooth, so that transitions into the top, because whatever this surface is going to be how your top surface is. So you want to make sure you sand that smooth as you can, 600 grit, nice swirl pattern, clean that off, and then hit that with the gunmetal on top. So we're going to go shoot that up right now, and next time you see it, she'll be done, finished paint. Okay, so there's the body fresh out of the paint booth, and yeah, it turned out really well. I'm very happy with the color on it. The two colors play off each other really, really nice. The LED lights in here make it look a little bit fuzzy on top, which it probably is because I'm not the best painter, but hey, it looks good enough, right? We wanted to match the wheels. I think we got that nailed pretty good. So, pretty good color there. We do need to go weld up some rock sliders for the frame, for the side, protect the bodies. When you come down a rock, you don't want to trash your body work. Put a nice little step on there. The front bumper is going to suffice. It's good enough. It fits as we wanted. And then we need to build a rear bumper that will hinge with the body mount, so we can get the rear protected, so we come down on a rock, we're not going to tear apart the body. From there, we are waiting on the dashboard and the seats from Tan Woodworks. Beautiful units, absolutely beautiful. Look them up on Facebook, Tan Woodworks. They make a whole bunch of 3D printed accessories and, you know, pretty, you know, well, really nice stuff like this, right? So Jess and I always had to, we were dreaming up how to make these ourselves, and lo and behold, came up on Facebook, here we go to buy them. So $50, a lot easier than making them. But yeah, she's pretty much just waiting on parts for the interior. We're going to start building the interior on it. We're going to start welding up the bumpers. We'll show you all that stuff on it. So unfortunately, guys, for this week, that is as far as we have for an update, which is pretty good. We went from no paint to paint. So yeah, the paint's not done. We need clear coat, and we're waiting on our local hobby shop, Eliminated RC, to get another supply. You can imagine everybody's at home and everybody's giving her, right? He's going through paint left, right, and center. I know I go in there and buy 6 cans of everything every time I'm there, so yeah. Yeah, so yeah, stay tuned. Next from here, interior, protection for the body, and we'll wire it up in between. You guys don't care to see us put an ESC and a servo in a truck, everybody knows that. So we're gonna get her ready to go. We're gonna throw a light kit into it, make it just purdy, purdy, purdy. We're gonna put a little bit of smoke tint on the tail lights because they're kind of like kind of like a creamy red, like, so it's hard to see, but they're a little bit kind of like a funky red. So we are going to probably, yeah, put a Tamiya tint coat on them, kind of darken them up a little bit, make them look pretty. And then yeah, we got to paint the mirrors, the gunmetal to match. All little bits and pieces, but yeah, stay tuned. That's it for this week, guys. She went from no paint to paint, so that's pretty decent. Body protection next. I think I just said this all again, so just cut that off, and I'm gonna go put this on the shelf.